Welcome to Harrison Stream. This is, I think, the 11th session of Fragments, our Demiplanes of Dread campaign. You will see the absence of Vanessa, played by Jack. He's having some internet problems. He's trying to get logged on right now. When he's in everything but Zoom, so when the camera overlay suddenly blows up and we all get distorted, I will immediately hit intermission just for a few minutes to sort those windows out. So you will have a very abrupt break, but it will only last about a minute or two. We did not play last week. A few things all happened at once. We ended up not playing. Whisper, given that you were the main recipient of a lot of it, do you want to remind us what happened the week before?
Yeah, so we went to investigate whatever is killing livestock and possibly inhabitants of the Fort Watton. And we tracked something down. We believed owlbears to a system of caves. However, it looked like the owlbears themselves had been under attack by something larger and more vicious than them, and had they themselves been eaten, including a baby owlbear, which was very sad. And then we discovered a large undead
it wasn't undead, was it?
I thought it was.
I thought it looked undead, but it wasn't undead.
I mean, I described it as being like there were rotten portions of it, and it was a lot of exposed bone. The first one you went in there had just been fucked up. The other one that came down that had its horrible, lovely art was definitely no longer alive because it had been just immobile for the longest time. It was like just acting very unnatural.
Yeah, so it was a large zombie owlbear, essentially. Some terrible creature. And it absolutely murdered me. And then we managed to defeat it. And now we are in the cave. And I am clinging to life.
Anything that Hazim
Did I miss
wants
anything?
to add? Not off the top of my head. I'm just trying to see if Hazim has anything additional. You had a bit of a social thing at the start with agents
Primrose, Turin van den Helden, and Valstagar.
Yes. Give me what their deal was. Or read it.
They were the Turks.
I resent that accurate description.
Yeah. And this isn't a region, but as in the Turks from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Just to clarify. So they were sent from Morfenzi. And they were saying Valstagar had been experimented on and given strength to call upon. He kind of saw Dr. Pieter as being the benefactor of giving him this gift through his experiments or whatever. What else? Oh yeah, they had a lab assistant called Strad, which was quite important. Well, not to us, it's not necessarily, although we did have the diary of one Strad. Vanessa turned Primrose on, and then they kind of like stormed out of the tavern. But they weren't interested in seeing a display of Whisper's abilities. Kind of saw it being beneath their duties, and that was kind of it. And we just kind of came out and killed Owlbear.
Killed two owlbears? Don't put yourself down.
I said killed Owlbear. I was using it like reindeers. You don't have to have an S on Owlbear.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah.
But you put an S on reindeer.
There thing.
To quiet you. Okay, then yeah, I will take.
How many hit points has she got?
Just the one, haven't you? You didn't heal yourself up afterwards. I thought that you're literally
we ended it pretty shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After your ridiculous death save.
I still know music.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody else has.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. You might need to F5 it. But we're loading new scene now anyway, so there'll be new sound.
Okay.
So Vanessa will fade into the background for a few moments as we return to the forest cave.
Oh, my headphones aren't picking up thing again for some reason.
Just give it a second. I've just reloaded.
No. I just went onto YouTube to check. It wasn't picking up YouTube. It's not picking up browser.
Okay. That's a shame because there's some very, very important. There's like a Shemshine style, very important lyrical thing in this one. Didn't it just come back on last time for you anyway? At one point, it just decided to start working.
No, I think I was pricking about with stuff and then it decided to suddenly start working. But I'm gonna see what I can come up with.
Okay. Something is not loaded there. Just give me a second there. There we go. So, Vanessa just sort of leans back, taking stock of her wounds for a moment, as Hazim hacks down this huge, undead, confirmed, owlbear that was bearing down on Whisper, who to him may seem like she had just been killed. It came down on her so heavily. What are we all doing?
Yeah, I'll give this thing another. Just kind of like digging the glaive deep and just kind of like leaving it, trying to kind of like pin its like neck and head to its body, so if it does start moving, it'll hopefully be a little bit hindered. Oh, good timing, Kete.
Oh, typical. He's here straight away. 1 second, we'll have a quick intermission to fix the camera overlay. 1 minute.
Ramming the glaive home like, a good couple of feet into its mouth, into its body, trying to make sure that, if it does decide it's gonna start shambling around again, then it will hopefully be slightly impeded. And kind of like, as I'm digging in, and then gonna kind of on my knees, crouched over Whisper, just kind of like hand on her face there. Whisper, are you okay? Whisper?
I will open my eyes and just kind of wipe some blood from my mouth and just... Yes, I am okay.
Just kind of like sigh of relief and like I'm over the top of her. I'm like, don't panic. The creature is dead. And like kind of like move away slightly and reveal this big thing that's kind of like right next to her.
Yeah, I'm going to carefully kind of scooch away. Jim, could you unpause the game?
The game is unpaused.
Kind of scooch away from it and like honestly into one of these nests a little bit. And
Right.
I am going to shift into my shifter form.
Oh, okay. This is more of like a defensive reflex sort of thing.
Yes, it also gives me temporary hit points.
Remind the viewers what that looks like.
I just take on a slightly more bestial appearance. My claws grow, my teeth lengthen a little bit. I get slightly bulkier in form, more substantial looking. And I gain temporary hit points.
She looks like a classic rabbit.
Where rabbit?
Yeah. The rabbits from Wallace and Gromit.
Slightly more bestial in form.
Okay. And I lied a moment ago. I said Vanessa just sort of leans back against a rock and quietly takes stock. That may not have been the case. Jack, what does Vanessa actually do?
Well, she was up there on that pillar, not getting attacked, but she sees Vanessa coiling up into that nest, and so she'll drop down relatively quietly, and she's going to go over and just check on her.
I'm starting to pull my glaive out. Went in easier than it's coming out, so I'm like, kind of sluicing about as I'm trying to just jab it in and out and trying to loosen it.
As I'm walking by, I'll just kind of casually cast my shadowy mage hand to try and help him pull the glaive out. Whisper.
I am fine.
You look the opposite of fine. No offense.
I will be honest, I feel the opposite of fine, but I am alive. I am still running. I will stand up a little bit. Does everyone else seem okay on health?
I haven't been touched.
Yeah, okay.
Also, just to refresh my memory because I forget, why do I have temp HP?
Did you not cast aid?
Okay.
Yeah, I believe I gave aid to everyone.
Yeah, that makes sense. When does that go away?
24 hours, I think. It's like 12 hours or something.
8 hours.
8 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I would like to sit here for a minute and try and heal myself. And GM, I would like to just start kind of closing my eyes and breathing and just whispering to myself, and I'm going to start casting Prayer of Healing.
Yeah, you are now breathing manually, and yeah, you can cast that spell.
Okay, it takes 10 minutes, so it's going to take a second. But I'm just going to sit here while I do it, so.
Oh, that spell always tugs on my heartstrings. I always remember as part of the final Strahd fight, or against the two big werewolf bosses I had in Ravenloft. Alex did this amazing thing where he chained his channel divinity that maximizes heal on the next big spell and then popped it in chat, and someone's like, actually, that's a 10-minute cast spell. We're like, ah! You've just been like, and everybody gets 85 HP. And it's like, no, they do not. Mr. Death wasn't it actually, Alex?
Yeah, he's a cock blocker.
Actually.
Yeah, actually, it's a 10-minute cast timer. And he was like, oh, he's chained like 3 rounds into doing this. It would be, yeah. Whilst Whisper is making those intonations under her breath, anything that Hazim and Vanessa want to do?
I just want to check. Is there any indicator that I still have aid cast on me? Because I believe it just lasts. Like my temporary hit points are increased, and I can't remember whether my normal hit points are 40 or 45. Because they're not just temporary hit points that once it goes, they disappear. While aid is on you, my max hit points are increased.
I mean, we could go and do the maths later, but that's something we'll say your HP is 45 until we find
That's
out.
no, I was just asking. Yeah, I was just asking if there's any kind of mechanical indicator that you can see that shows.
Not about setting up a bit of a if Howell were here, I'd say add it to the list of macros to make.
Okay. I'm just kind of like now on top of this thing, like over its neck, kind of still trying to get purchased. Like there's just like all bits of entrails that have kind of like been dragged out with like the curvature of the blade. It's like just kind of I've just gored it from the inside out and like just kind of just clearing off. I think. So there was 2 of them at the fort. I think it's fair to say that it was these 2, but clearly something else has been having a go because, well, something's killed this one and the other one was looking pretty bad, right?
Yes, this is obviously unnatural. DM, given the size of the what we know about owlbears, does this seem like larger than usual, or?
No, I'd say it seemed like it was a. It actually looks a little bit smaller, given the fact that it's been
Like
a bit
emaciated.
emaciated. Yeah. It looks like it was a large male. Not like you wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's a dire owl bear. You know, they are normally large
Okay.
size. Yeah.
Were the wounds on the other one? Did they look like it was made by an owl bear? Like these two have fought and one of them just died.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looks like these two might have. And the wounds on this one, like its death, it looks like they were made. It was killed by an owl bear. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I take it back? Maybe there wasn't something bigger. I mean, there's lots of nests around here. I don't know how often owlbear group together.
Remember, you did find a couple of smaller ones, including like a cub or a kit, whatever we're calling it.
Okay. Well, I'm
What
gonna.
do we do? Do we wait here? Do we? And when she says that, she'll look at Whisper, who's, I guess, napping, or just like praying for a sec. Praying for
I am
herself.
literally, yeah, I'm praying.
Do we just bring the head of the thing back and let them know?
Imagine we take the head or something, some kind of proof. And I'm gonna kind of like clamber into the nests and just have a look around. A little fiddle around the nests, see if there's any kind of like people that they've taken out in the wild, any trinkets or anything.
Yeah, I would give it to you for free for looking around. You find quite a lot of bones that are recognisable as being from a pig. There is more than one. It's not really accurate to call them strips, but more than one sort of clump of that very familiar bristly, torn hair that is pig skin. Pigs have definitely been brought here and have been devoured. You don't find anything like hapless adventurers sort of thing, but then again, you did hear. You've not heard any of the guards talk about people being taken, unless Kaheb has been an unfortunate exception to that. If so, he's not here.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah. But yeah, it seems to be, and there's a couple of, you recognise a couple of tarnished old antlers. There's things that other livestock have been, other animals have been caught at some point. But yeah, you've not found unfortunately, there is no satchel of the slain adventurer.
Okay. Yeah, I'll head over here. I'll have a look around. Guardedly.
I feel like I did a search last time and didn't really come up with anything, so I think.
Oh, the nest. Okay.
No, you can look. I mean, you might find something that Vanessa didn't. But I think Vanessa will just probably. Is this cut off? Is there any other crevasses or exits or anything like that?
No,
that we can see?
from a lack of sort of wind movement that you were feeling your way through, you do feel like you are at the back of the cavern.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Maybe I shall stick by Whisper while Azim looks around, I guess, or.
Yeah, just a little pokey around. Yeah, nothing standing out.
No, nothing standing out.
We've not got a light source, have we?
Don't believe so, because you can all see.
Yeah, I was reading a thing on Reddit where I think apparently everything should be kind of considered as dim light to us, even though you've got dark vision. It means you can, if it's pitch black, then you can see in dim light. So perception checks and investigation checks should realistically be with disadvantage.
Honestly, when it applies to everybody in the group, I'd rather just shift the the DCs than do the whole campaign on modifier.
Sure. Cool. Then I will start slicing away to take a head. Love taking heads. That's my MO.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you've got a... It's not got a lot of the fat that it had before. It's taken a bit of a battering already. You can quite easily sever the head, though it is a heavy head. It's probably a two-hand job carrying.
Probably a job.
While this is going around, Whisper, your spell would come
Speed
to
up.
its
Is it done? All right.
completion. Yeah.
Ah, why am I twisting around? That's not what I wanted to do. All right.
Thank you for the sub, corn dog.
Healed. All right. My spell will go off, and there will be, thought the same thing. My spell will go off, and there will just be like kind of a warm, glowing energy that will kind of settle over all three of us. And I will stand up from this nest.
Do you now have a headless undead owlbear?
I am going to just carefully step around it. Hazim is searching around. Vanessa is in the nest, and I'm just going to kind of cautiously poke around this cave. Did you discover anything while I was healing?
No. I had a look around, but it's just a tracing gold steps.
We should get moving. This is pointless. And Vanessa is going to kind of like just rush up, not like not power walk rather, a stride
Just
up.
Dumbledore's it.
But as she does, just flick her wrist, and one of the shadows will come up and grab it, so it can help pull the head out.
Yeah, I will be kind of like double hand grabbing it anyway. I'll tie the glaive onto my back. Just go like, doo-doo. I'm glad this one was already emaciated. Oh.
They didn't say anything about this affecting animals, beasts.
No, I
No,
thought
they
the
didn't.
opposite. I didn't think it ever affected animals. That is right, DM, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you think there is... Do you think it is the same, or possibly a different infection?
Hard to say.
I think it could be the same infection, just evolving. I mean, that's how these kind of things work, right? These viruses, if it is in fact a virus, it can evolve, can change as an organism. Yeah.
Perhaps it is not like a normal beast, you know?
Whisper's gonna look very confused what the hell you were talking about.
Which one?
I mean, like, I know about sickness, but virus and organisms and evolving, like, things like that is just, I've got pretty rustic, hands-on knowledge of sickness.
Yeah. So if you saw like a camera, you would be scared.
Scared? I don't know. But definitely, like, never seen this before.
I just had a deep Simpsons reference flash in my head, but I'll save it for later. Yeah, I guess we'll just file out of the cave because, like, we've looked. There's nothing in the back. We've got the head. I mean, is there anything else anyone else wants to do?
So Whisper.
Jim, have I been this way before?
There are no minecart tracks here. That is just a part of the map.
Oh, okay. I was
but-
gonna be like, hey guys.
But you do feel a cool draft and see that there is a hole in the ground.
I will call back. Wait.
To abate your confusion, Luca, this was walled off last time because I have changed things since the last session.
Okay. I'm going to wait. There's a hole here. What can I smell, GM?
Ooh, make a perception check.
Take into account my shifter. Hold on. Oh, I have advantage. Okay, hold on.
Okay. Sniffing down for a dirty 20. You smell grass. You can actually see the shift of water. It would seem that it is only 20 foot or so down below you to water. You can just see the slight shimmer of it, but you can also see where it ends with a shimmer and stop. So you're confident that you're over some sort of other body of water that is surrounded by more ground.
Okay.
You also smell very faintly mushrooms.
What kind of mushrooms? Any I've smelled before?
Yeah, just just typical common edible mushrooms.
Okay.
Just whatever. Is it button mushroom? No, mushrooms. Whatever.
Button
food
mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whilst you are here at the edge as well, make a perception check. I would give to you that you can see there is a lamp, like a lantern, resting on the edge. Though despite the colouring of this map, the lantern is off.
Oh, I was...
And you can also see faint, just if it would be a 20, faint footsteps in the dirt around the ledge.
So what is the framework here, but no tracks, or none of this?
None of the framework
wood?
at all. None of the wood. None of the wood.
I am going to pick up a small pebble and hold it in my hand, and using one of the cantrips I have on my ring, infuse it with light and just drop it down this hole.
Yeah, it very quickly, like just over a second till it hits water, and it gets dim as it sinks a little bit for a moment. You see that the body of water underneath is only about 5-6 foot deep, and it just appears to be a pool where perhaps rainwater has collected over time, surrounded by a little bit of grass and moss and a bit of a wider cavern.
I will look up at Hazim to see these footsteps. Someone has been here.
I will take a look at them.
And as they had said, they sent others, right?
No.
Are
They
we
have
the
never.
first?
We are the first. At least, that is how we were told it.
I call them footsteps. They are unmistakably boot prints.
Mhm.
Right.
How old do they look?
Maybe survival check.
Would it not be investigation? And I'll survive for tracking.
I am a natural trekker. I will absolutely make that.
I feel like investigation is looking into things. Survival's more like the using investigative power to find out like the where and when of when things left their imprints and. Go on, we'll say use either, and I'll get more clarification on it for next time.
I mean, I'll use survival because
23?
I've got a better thing on it. So.
Oh, okay.
From the fact that we're starting to get filled in a little bit by dust, and just how moss that was displaced nearby seems to be rooting back in a little bit. You would think that these are a couple of weeks. Obviously, this place doesn't get really...
Before the attack started?
Yeah.
Does it look like the boots... Does it look like the footsteps are coming to go to the hole, or they came out of the hole?
They're around it too much, like too messy. Someone's like been... I'll put on... You're confident, but either on more than one occasion or for a prolonged period of time, someone has been stood around this hole in different directions, coming from, to and from it. It isn't like one set that leads to the edge and then walks away. It's kind of like the sort of footprints that you're probably all making now as you're standing around CSI in it.
Yeah.
Do the footprints come from a particular direction?
I would say it is indeterminate. You only really notice the ones that are, because you very quickly reach a point where the owlbears would have been coming in and out and disturbing tracks. It's just been set off by itself. So you kind of got a little corner snapshot over here, Prince.
How thick is the opening? Like, I assume that this isn't just like a walled shaft, right? It's like a opening into a cliff.
Yeah.
So like, how thick is it?
How thick is it? Sorry.
Oh. Mm.
Huh.
I'd like to know. Well,
It's just like a hole down into a cavern below us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason I'm asking is because I was thinking that Vanessa seeing the light go down there and seeing the boot prints, but not really able to contribute. She just kind of gets down on her hands and feet and is going to try and climb into the hole, but then climb up and stick onto the roof.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is more of a lip than it is a shaft.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can, in a couple of seconds, be on the ceiling of the chamber below, if you would like.
Yeah, so she's like stuck to the ceiling, just looking around.
I will show you what you see, Jack. Or will I? Because it isn't loading.
Very excited.
I'm going to hit F5. But yeah, so you, as it's loading, you do crawl into quite a large chamber that is stone bank surrounding a rather still, gentle pool of collected water, surrounded by various mosses. You do see a stone, like a tunnel heading away. Very natural looking.
How far am I away from the pool that the rock with light cast on it?
Less than 15 foot. It is
right,
rather low ceilinged.
As I'm clinging to the ceiling, I'm going to just extend my hand and I'm going to bring up my mage hand to try and pull out the rock and bring it closer to like eye level.
What, from within the water?
Yeah.
It pulls it up and it illuminates the cavern. You should now find, Vanessa, that I have pulled you to another scene. It should be loading for you.
Yeah, it's just loading right now.
And you will see what you see.
It's taking a long time to load.
Well, Amber Temple's not a small map.
While Vanessa's crawled under, I'm gonna look at Hazim. Is it possible this situation was created? That someone...
With my big head. I mean, we're in a pretty strange place, so I think what happened to these creatures is odd.
We know there are experiments being done, and we've clearly found that not everything is known about this sickness, since it was unknown that they could speak once afflicted. I am wondering if someone knows more than they are letting on and has infected an owlbear to attack the fort. I don't know for what purpose, though.
I think for now, we keep these lines of inquiry in mind, but let us not allow it to lead us searching for such a conclusion. There are many things we do not know here yet. But you are right, somebody definitely knows more than they're saying. These books alone
Yes.
tell us that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go.
Sorry.
Yeah, go.
I was just gonna start unfurling some rope from my pack.
I mean, the water below. I mean, I know Wisp doesn't like water, but the water below is like you said, like 6 feet. So
Yeah.
I could plunge pool it into there.
I imagine more for getting out, she's possibly thinking. Although Vanessa could always run up and drop them down, yeah. Yeah, but you can.
Whisper
you can
does not like getting in the wet.
I do not. I plan to lower myself, swing, and jump.
Yeah, you can untie that rope, absolutely.
So,
Okay.
as Whispers tied up, do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna drop. Does it look like the coin, the stone was staying still, right? So it's not like flowing water. So
No, not at all.
I'm gonna drop my head. Actually, before I do so, Vanessa, can you see anything down there?
There's another path. Other than that, I can't really make out any other details. DM though, you said there's a tunnel.
Yes.
Are there these steps on the right
Mm-hmm.
or the left? Right.
Correct.
To the
On
east.
right. Yes.
Yeah, there's another tunnel here, and also a set of stone steps, large. It looks maybe naturally hewn, but I'm not too sure.
And I will drop the owl bear down, just in case we don't come back this way. Water.
You get it's 50 weight of an owlbear head. Yeah. Vanessa, make me a dexterity saving throw, DC 12.
What? Why?
She's gonna get washed off.
Not washed off. Just to see if she gets Poseidon's kiss. Oh, you see a splash of water come up, harmless but perhaps unwanted, and you see it coming along enough for you just to turn and you avoid Neptune's kiss as the owlbear water splashes on the ceiling of the cavern.
Yeah, she just shudders a bit, but she's gonna climb. She's gonna crawl across the ceiling and then land on top of the steps, if possible.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine.
Looking at Hazim, I will start lowering myself on this rope about halfway down, and then begin to swing.
Okay. And how's Azim getting down?
Recklessly. I'll just plunge pull down.
Yeah, that's fine.
It looks like water, right? From what we've seen, it just looks
Yeah, it
water.
looks like water. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's so like, oh, bacteria in the water or things like that. He wouldn't have that kind of medicinal knowledge. So, yeah, he will wait for Whisper to swing out of the way.
Alright, I'm gonna swing and try and jump over onto the bank.
Yeah, CC for that.
You're not high above the water. Vanessa's DC was for lols. We can say you make me an acrobatics check.
Yeah.
Whisper. DC 12 again, we'll call it. See if you get a bit of a. Do you get a foot of water? Oh no! You swing, and the moment you let go, that you think, yeah, I've got it. You instead just go straight to your hips, in icy cold water, and you have to come wading out, cold, wet from the hips down.
Oh,
I look incredibly unhappy and just will absolutely do that, like, in from the water and just shaking off my feet.
As I see it kind of like bottom, I'm like, okay, it's only fair. And I will jump down into the water. As she kind of like dries herself off on the side, I just splash everything with water as I jump in.
That's me at the ice plunge pool at Centre Parks. Avoiding it, are you?
Yeah.
Vanessa just shakes her head. looks, kind of gives Whisper this pitiful look. Sweet poor thing. It's dry up here. Carry on. Yeah. Do we want to set the head somewhere? Maybe more secure, though.
I'm going to take it with us. We don't know if we're going to come back this way. As I say, as I'm already kind of like trying to drag it out of the water. I'll carry it for as long as I need to.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for it to load on my end.
Really?
You know, it might be lighter if we just maybe, I don't know, disassemble it a bit. Take off the jaw.
I mean, I figure something like this, the more intact, the more useful it might be, but I'm okay for now.
Alright.
It's too big to put in my pack, so if I need to drop it, I need to drop it.
Fair enough.
I would suggest for Hazim and Whisper maybe hit an F5 because it's been...
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah, it's loaded for quite a while for me now. And it is not a particularly large map.
Loaded.
Still waiting, but feel free to move me out of the water.
Done.
I can see my health bar, but I can't see my actual token.
Okay.
Ah.
How about now?
Yeah, perfect.
Brilliant. Okay, so yeah, owlbear head set down or carried if you wanted. What should you say you do?
I'm carrying it for now.
Carrying it for now. Okay. That is a two-handed carry job. So you got your glaive sashed on, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, finally.
Drag Whisper along with us till she's with us.
I'm here. Finally.
Okay. So yeah, you find these wide stone steps heading up, perhaps made just for erosion, perhaps carved, but very, very natural looking.
Okay. I'm just going to continue cautiously on.
Also, I have the light rock. I don't know if that would illuminate things more.
It would cast out, if you're holding it, it would cast out a light smaller than the amount you can all dark vision anyway, so I wouldn't fiddle around change it unless you decided to like throw it down somewhere, then I'd go and create a light source for it.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to yeet down the corridor.
Yeah, just kind of like rolls it down as far as she can.
Yeah. Casts out a little bit of light further down.
Ooh, red.
I took I made an executive decision.
That's special.
And there are just natural rocky outcrops.
It's stone, so I don't assume we've seen any sign of further boot prints.
No.
DM, would you hate me if I said I pick up the stone and just keep throwing it as we walk?
Yeah, that's fine.
You could mage hand it. I can just have the mage hand throwing ahead.
Oh yeah, I could do that, right? I will do that then. But yeah, I just want to keep the path ahead maybe a little bit illuminated until we see something.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, do we see anything? Does
No.
Specifically? Okay.
No, you see that it turns a corner up ahead once you get past the rocks. Good grief, it's a large moth. Cool.
Whisper, I don't want to alarm you, but there appears to be more water down here.
Wait. As Whisper starts going past me.
Yeah. As Whisper leans around, you see something up against the wall, Whisper. Stood. Immobile. Against the wall. A complex looking figure. Very, very thin. Jagged. Seemingly made of different hues and colours of glass. And it's just stood there wielding a sword. Not moving.
It's like a statue or like a pane of glass?
Like a pane of glass that has... I mean, elements of it are floating. It is definitely not natural.
I will slowly place down the head. Have I ever seen anything like this before?
Well, you've not seen it yet. Whisper, have you said anything to anybody?
It depends which square it's in, because I can see this square from where I was.
No, that's...
Okay.
You can see some...
I will just stop and just look back
Oh,
at
shit.
Hazim.
That's dope.
And like give like a face of like, you know, caution,
Yep.
and then look back at it, trying not to move or make any more movements than need.
But Whisper tells us that this thing is here, or no?
Yeah, I will stop and look back at you, like very much like signaling to stop, silently though.
Bear with me. My headset has decided it
It's
hasn't
just-
charged.
Jim, it's not moving at all.
No. It is
It's almost
absolutely...
like standing sentry.
It's almost like an art installation. Yeah.
I'm just gonna step up a little bit to get next to Whisper, and now that I do see it, she'll just bring out one of the shadow hands and I don't know, maybe it's just stupid. I like stupid though. So oh, go on.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I can invoke duplicity.
Oh, I was just gonna have my like mage hand just kind of do this across its face to see if it reacts, but whatever you guys
Okay.
want to do.
No, if you're doing something, yeah, go for it.
All right, yeah. So a little shadow hand will come out from like the wall, just like kind of try to see if it reacts to being in the face of this thing, or if the thing reacts to the hand being in front of it.
So this drifts by. No movement at all.
Right.
She's gonna then. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, if you're doing something else, that's fine.
No, I was just gonna say, she'll very carefully have the mage hand kind of like stroke the pauldron of this thing, see if it reacts.
The second it touches it, it steps forward with a jolt. I don't know if it passes through a mage hand or if it just moves it away, if it's just sort of on it, but it steps forward. And even though you were fairly close to it, only at this moment does it seem to become aware of your presence, and you see it hold the sword aloft. And I would like everybody to roll initiative.
You can't try
Okay,
to talk it down?
DM, I don't know if you saw, but I cast invoke duplicity and put her down there at the
Okay, yeah, I'll
bottom.
yep, that's in the combat as well then. Yeah, Hlessi's in combat as well. Oh, the
I'll roll 4 twice.
the units from the modular caverns get added in as combatants as well. Okay. First up, it's Hazim. Piss off, Moth.
I think Hazim has headphone issues.
Oh, I thought you put it back on. Are you back with us, Hazim?
I think he is.
No. Okay, dodge action. He takes the dodge action, man. Next up is Whisper.
All right, I am going to have Plessy, because my spells can look as if they're coming from her.
Mm-hmm.
Cast. I'm gonna have her cast Word of Radiance on this thing.
Oh, I just missed something that Hazim said because when it started the combat round, it blocked all the text off into something lower.
Hmm.
So the golem has to make a con save.
Yeah, one moment. It succeeded, taking no damage.
Son of a bitch.
Does it seem to respond to Leslie though? Like,
Make me a... Oh, isn't Word of Radiance the 5-foot one?
it's around it, yeah.
So what, Halessi ran up to him and did it?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Halessi runs up, casts the spell. The creature keeps its focus, its gaze, well, its face, its featureless face, firmly towards you all.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else from you, Whisper?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. Vanessa.
We just lost one of the windows though.
Who was it?
Mad.
Okay, I'll take us to an intermission for a quick minute.
Okay.
What a day. Back in a minute. And everyone's still in the same place. Okay, we're back. There was a brief technical hiccup there. So yes, Vanessa, it is you. What are you doing?
So, I don't know if this would require an action to do, but I want to see, like, it's sentient, but does it seem? Well, I guess now it'd be hostile, but does it seem hostile on immediate, on a first glance? Like, does it look like it's going to attack us?
It absolutely looks like it's going to attack you. It's got
Fantastic.
a sword made of glass that is leveled in your direction.
Fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to cast Frostbite on it.
Okay.
If things want to work. There we go. Again. It needs to make a con save. Oh, you see.
It succeeds.
Nothing. And then Vanessa, seeing this thing, is going to back up and climb up 20 feet onto the wall behind her.
Yeah. Now you've gone up, the ceilings are about 15 feet.
Okay, yeah, just as far as I can go.
Yeah, a standard rest of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay then. It will come forward.
I will attack of opportunity.
Yes.
I am going to. Okay, yeah, attack of opportunity.
Oh, that was so nearly a 1 on my screen.
And I'm going to turn that into a pushing attack. When you hit a creature, you can expend 1 superiority dice to attempt to drive the target back. So, roll a d8. Okay, it needs to make a strength saving throw, which will be DC 13, I think.
An 8.
It gets knocked back 15 feet away from me. And with Sentinel, it loses its movement, so it can't move. It's lost its movement.
That seems so strange with that combo. You're knocked back and then it's just...
Right, I've basically hamstrung it, so it loses its willing. It can't move. Yeah, it has no movement, but forced movement doesn't use its movement.
Oh yeah, I get that. Then...
Oh, I need to roll the damage as well.
It can't do anything then.
Here's the damage. Nice.
What's the range on that? Oh, actually, it should, I think, be able to... Don't know why that only gets Vanessa. Oh, but Vanessa's moved. Okay, it can't do anything. That seems like a really weird combination. What's that got here? As you hit into it, you see after a moment where the glass has cracked and fractured. After a few moments, it just seems to almost like revert. It's the same sort of just sudden jolt of how things crack, but just knitting back together. And you see that it is undoing the wounds that have been done to it. Hazim, it's you.
Okay, I shall move forward. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna attack it.
Hits.
And then I will use my pommel attack as a bonus action.
Oof, hits.
Still not rolling damage on that. One day we'll set it up. So this would be bludgeoning damage.
Yep. 6. That hits it hard, and you see that the bludgeoning damage, where the pommel goes in, the crack is much wider where it hits, and it sort of lurches for a moment.
And then I will take 1 step back. It keeps doing half steps when I'm moving. Like, it keeps lagging and doing half step. Okay, yeah.
Okay, Whisper, it's you.
Ready my glaive. And I will say, I don't know what this thing does. Perhaps we should spread it out a little bit.
seems that it is made of glass. And I'm going to go up and I am going to attack it with my gloves.
Okay, yeah.
And I get a +1 to attacks and damage.
So I'll add +1 onto that.
I did.
Oh, you already did. Okay. Yep. So your claws go raking across it.
Does anything happen? Like, does it seem to have like substantial effect, or is it just?
I would say much
Like
less than
an-
when you saw the pommel go smashing into it.
Okay. Okay.
That's all from you.
That's it from me. Yeah.
Okay. Vanessa.
So, up on the
Yeah.
the wall. Yeah, I'm just kind of scared for Whisper if this thing manages to get an attack. That's not a good thing. So I think what I'll do is I would be able to surmise that this is a construct, right?
I would say that's fairly evident by this point.
Okay,
It
cool.
is like, it is a matter of inches thin. It's
Okay.
almost like 2D.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and this is the last time I'll try it, just because I know it's got some decent constitution, but I don't want it to attack Whisper. I'm gonna try and frostbite it again.
Okay.
And let me select.
It
There we go.
fails.
There we go. So you take 2 points of cold damage, and you have disadvantage on the next weapon attack.
Disadvantage on the next weapon attack.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else from you?
No, I think that's gonna be it for now. Just stay put.
Okay. That next attack will absolutely. And although before you saw it sort of undo the damage to it, that does not happen this time. A few little knots happen to undo here and there, but you notice as even on that big central impact crater where your pommel went, no healing is done. It will, however, swing its glass sword at Whisper, who is stepped 2. First swing is disadvantageous. Missing. It swings a second time. Was it the next attack or attacks the rest of his turn, Vanessa?
Next attack.
Yeah, on the next weapon attack.
Okay. Swings again. Missing. And then the sword, it holds up for a moment and it gets... In fact, it will take a step. And the sword gets brighter and it's going to hold it out. Whisper. You need to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. Don't know why
Why
it
not
hasn't.
prompt it?
Don't know why it hasn't. Oh, it didn't look like it had for me. 10. You all see this almost flashbang sort of blast of light go off. Whisper, you just see it building in the sword for a moment and manage to avert your gaze ever so slightly. You narrowly avoid being blinded by it. That's all it's going to do. Hazim, it's you.
Okay. I'm gonna step in. Are you sure this is the right thing to do, Whisper? You're being pretty bold. Yeah, I'm gonna step in and make my attacks. If Whisper's committing to fighting this thing in melee.
A 10
Oh, sorry, it wasn't.
will
Yeah.
miss.
Okay.
It manages just to parry it off the sword.
And then I will step.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm gonna stay here. No, I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
Just dancing side by
Anything,
side.
anything else from you?
No, nothing else I can do.
Whisper, to you.
I will reply just saying no, I am not sure, and I will step back.
As you do.
Using disengage as my action.
Okay. So you used your action to disengage.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else from you?
It seems totally to not care about Leslie, right?
Not in the slightest. Like,
Yep.
if you'd had in a sort of ebb and flow of combat and moving around, if you'd even had Leslie like moving in front of it, it's like it cannot see Leslie.
All right, I'll drop her. Why waste the attention?
Okay, Vanessa.
All right. Well, now that Whisper seems to be somewhat in the clear, strange. I can't see where the.
It's underneath Hellas.
Oh, okay.
Can you move the token, DM? Okay.
All right.
It was on top of mine, so I was wondering where Hellas was.
No. So I'm gonna go ahead and. You said something about it. You said something about it after the cast of Frostbite that the damage took in a way that Hazim didn't, or
Basically, I think like bludgeoning damage stops it from healing up.
okay.
Could be argued.
But I'm not gonna argue right now. I'm gonna go ahead and blast its magic missiles. So. So that's 4 times 3, which is 12. Yeah.
So I will adjust the rest.
And yeah, that's going to be her turn.
Heavily-
She's going to stay put.
Heavily shattered. But then, before your eyes, it cracks back together a little bit. It did not attempt to do a recharge. That's weird. Roll a d6.
Face looks all of a wonder. I didn't do bludgeoning damage on it last time.
You did not.
So it's been able to heal when it plus the beginning of its turn.
Exactly, yeah. It is not able to regenerate, to regain its thingy bob. It will absolutely step forward.
Yeah. I'm gonna attack of opportunity.
It misses.
This is not
It
good.
continues forward, and it's going to swing twice, once at each of you. Whisper misses. Then it swings at Hazim. Misses.
That's right.
That's all it's going to do.
That's what we love.
Next up, Hazim.
Okay. I'm gonna maneuver around it. What's going on? Okay. I am going to. Yeah. Okay. As I pivot around it. Yeah. And then I'm going to step out of its range, out of its reach.
It will. You hadn't. No, it had not. It will definitely swing at you.
Mm-hmm.
The top half just turns in a way that a living creature could not. Just
I'm gonna
180
say,
is a swing
as
and
I
misses.
kind of like maneuver, like trying to distract it to get its attack on me, and
Yeah.
then say to Whisper, "Keep moving. I've got its attention."
Absolutely. Whisper it to you. It has blown its reaction.
All right. I will then go down. Oh. Right. There we go. Go down here. Maybe? Okay. And then look back at it, and I'm just going to cast Sacred Flame. Because that's what I can do.
Yeah, it fails, and your magic leaps up around it for a moment. Now you step down here, you see a very, very crude wooden sort of palisade built into the wall with a gate in the middle of it.
I will call back up. There's a gate here. After I see that.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Vanessa, to you.
Little shit bunnies. So,
Shit bunnies. Right.
Alex, I'm sorry, Hazim, you didn't manage to get the bludgeoning on it, right?
Nope.
Okay. Seeing the pattern there, I'm just gonna skitter. Oh, no one do that. I'm gonna skitter towards the gate on the wall. I'm gonna climb up on the ceiling and then skitter towards the gate. See where it is.
You're basically passing by from above, yeah. Because you were already that high.
Yeah.
We need to make... We need to choose a symbol that we accept. Is Foundry condition for upside down on the ceiling.
Yeah, just like, is there a spider icon? Just put
There's
that.
not, weirdly. You can set your own up. For now, we'll go with...
Oh, cursed.
Cursed.
Yeah. She's gonna head over there, and then she has no bludgeoning things. It's crazy that force can't also count as bludgeoning, but whatever. And then she's just gonna go ahead and frostbite it. See if that'll do
Okay.
anything. Con save.
Oof, yeah. It's big.
So yeah, it takes 4 cold damage, and it's got disadvantage on its next weapon attack.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Next up is the golem itself. It will step forward to Hazim. Oh, first of all, let's roll a d6. No, it fails. It is going to swing twice the glass sword at Hazim. Misses.
That's disadvantage anyway on the first one
Remind me why.
because it just frostbit.
Yeah, I'll disadvantage this one. Misses. Oh, sorry, and it would have
Healed up, yeah.
healed up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
And now it is Hazim again.
I'm kind of like maneuvering around it, not moving out of its space, just kind of like checking out, kind of like dodging around. Say, I have no idea what this kind of thing is. Have either of you seen anything like it? As I kind of like
Never.
step to one side and try and kind of like bring my blade across its legs and just for flavour.
Didn't target again, but that hits.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I don't know why it's sometimes there. And then I will pommel.
Both hits.
Noise.
Yeah. That second one, that pommel strike comes in with a heavy. You all hear a loud crack.
It's an additional 6 points of damage.
Remember why it's 6 and not 5?
Oh, sorry, because I can't read.
It looks almost entirely fractured from head to toe.
Okay. I look to Vanessa and say, perhaps your crossbow. Piercing damage on glass? Sounds like a good combo, yes?
To go.
Anything
you
else
saying this-
from
No.
Hazim? No. Okay, whisper to you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
As you say this, I'll reach on my own back and pull out my crossbow. Oh my!
It hits.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, mine. It shatters, goes right through it. Hazim, the bolt plunges deep. It shatters, it goes through it. You get the sense that had it not been in such a bad way, that might have just passed clean through it. But someone entirely breaks it apart. My descriptive way of trying to describe that this thing would have regenerated even from death if it had not taken bludgeoning damage by turn.
Nice.
Yeah, it falls to the floor with a beautiful cinematic tinkle.
Did it look like piercing damage would have done anything?
No, it was that bludgeoning. Oh, weirdly, thunder was the key.
Okay, I get that.
Don't know why.
I was sitting here wishing for a shatter spell, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right. Vanessa will drop down to the ground and look at Whisper. You're lucky I don't have an ego about these things.
I go and pick up my owlbear head.
Alright. I'm gonna lean down and just investigate the pieces of glass. Namely, I'm looking for any sort of inscription. Because I've heard tell of different types of creatures, constructs that have words in their heads.
Yeah, I'd like to do that as well.
I just wanted to know if this had any sort of word in its head.
Word in its head? Is it like something programmed of a command or something like that?
Yeah, a golem's command words.
Okay.
Do something similar. With a magnifying glass, but not as much what Whisper's trying to do. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any kind of signatures as to who might have made this.
Tell me who will be granting advantage to who for this investigation roll.
Well, I mean, I've got my magnifying glass, which would have doubled my proficiency.
I'll give you advantage.
Okay. All right, I'll do it. You said investigation, or is it Arcana?
I'm going to say Arcana, yeah, because it's a pile of, to investigate it, it's a pile of broken glass. You're looking into the magical secrets behind that.
It's a 21 plus an additional
still
2.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So 23.
You... Does Vanessa have any past experience first hand with golems, or is it more like an item of study that she'd have?
More of an item of study. She's.
Yeah.
I mean, given her background, and then maybe you can rule on this. Given what you know about her background, I would say that it's not unrealistic that her family or the people she works with.
She is a colony of eels in a skin suit, so
exactly.
Yeah.
But given her family's history, they might have used golems, but it's up to you.
Yeah. I would give to you with that role that this does appear to be an extremely this is a MacGyver job of a golem. Even with you not knowing the magic involved in creating one, you are able to discern that these shards were very, very tenuously bonded together by magic. Between the two of you, you'd be able to sort of piece together, based on how fixated it seemed, that its command was likely to protect or guard or patrol. Based off the lack of facial features and the fact that you both saw it ignoring a magically conjured illusion, effectively, it perhaps did not see by contemporary means. And although it is a rush job, the magic that you can sort of detect and trace in it, it doesn't mean it was amateur. It was clearly a very, very good job that was done with the very few things available, as opposed to baby's first attempt at a golem.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a rushed, low resource mastercraft job.
Is there anything remarkable about the sword itself? Is it still just in pieces?
Much like everything else, it all just shattered to near enough
Yeah.
centimetre pieces. Still very colourful.
Yeah, if it's possible, I'd like to gather up at least the sword pieces, if I can.
Yeah, you can get a fair few pieces of a glass sword. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whoever did this had some modicum of power. I haven't seen anything like that in Fort Watton. I don't even recall seeing anything like this in the Watchtower, unless I do. I don't have any answers though. This thing was here to protect something though.
Presuming whoever those boots belong to. Looks like we're stumbling upon someone's little hideaway.
Can I go investigate this gate?
Yes.
I will set my owl bear head behind this pillar here.
Okay.
Is this pool pretty shallow?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
It looks to be, Whisper, a very, very clean palisade, like floor to ceiling. Logs, all stripped of their bark, very, very smooth. It is almost like a, you know how Ron Swanson didn't want his like rustic chair being like factory made because it would lose all like the blemishes. This is a perfect, absolutely perfect palisade with a single gate in the middle. Well, a door, effectively.
I will look at the others. Should we see what's inside?
It looks like this was presumably conjured by magic. Do we trust that that door is not magically trapped?
Did I get the sense of that in my investigation?
No.
As best as I can tell, it does not seem to be.
Seems like a job for Mage Hand.
Yeah, Vanessa's gonna go ahead and flash with the detect magic eyes just to see.
While Azim and Whisper carefully move away from blasting distance.
Yeah, detect magic goes off. It is not magical.
All right. Well, she will conjure up a mage hand and try to open the door as best she can, stepping back with the others.
Door opens and you see further in.
I am going to attempt to stealth.
Okay.
If Whisper is, I too shall stealth. If we're going in
Just kinda-
quietly.
And just kind of shrink down and quietly move in around the door.
Yep.
Um,
Whisper, Hazim, both fairly confident that your actions are being stealthy.
I'll go ahead and stealth as well since everyone else is doing it.
yeah, as I'm doing
Only
it.
one.
Yeah, I'll also, as I'm kind of like Christian, beyond so long, and my outfit turns into my black stealth gear.
Yeah. Yeah, Vanessa, you too are confident that the world is blind to your passing.
I will look back and very quietly whisper, almost just mouthing, of another door up here by me.
Okay. And my detect magic hasn't gone off yet. I'm still kind of walking around with black eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I will conjure the mage hand and open.
What be the door?
Yeah.
It is locked.
Oh.
Anything in these boxes or just empty crates?
These are open, empty crates.
Okay. I want to see if I can hear anything moving further in.
Okay, make a perception check. Yeah, and Vanessa, your door is locked. You see there is a lock on this. It isn't like a deadbolt on the other side job. There is an iron lock set
Okay.
into the door.
It's mundane.
It is mundane. A 19 perception. You hear nothing, Hazim, beyond the ambience you can currently hear.
So here's a wild thought, and you could totally tell me if it's something I can't do. But would there be a way to improvise lockpicks? Like I don't know if it's like about like breaking my arrows, like trying to like use my arrowheads or something like that.
Not to a degree you could try to fumble your way through a door. Not to a degree where you'd ever get proficiency involved in thieves' tools, because they're not specialist tools intended for the job.
Okay.
We can certainly look into that. If you ever meet a blacksmith or a tinkerer, we can certainly look into that being something that a commodity of a group has made.
Okay,
although,
but I can't
although why wouldn't you get thieves' tools in that case? You could sell me thieves' tools, but instead only for a convoluted method of turning hairpins into lockpicks.
Listen, MacGyver, man. Let's go. But yeah, if I can't do it here, I won't do it. But if there's a way I can at least try to get the lock open, I don't mind doing it at a disadvantage or something.
Yeah, you could try and force it. You could try and pick it at disadvantage. Yeah.